I'll be remembered, what will you? Bill McDonald's the baddest that I would turn to. CEO with the shit that's a dope motherfucker. He'll always win, there's no going under. The top of the crown resting on his head. The beast is alive, he'll never be dead. If he dreamt before, bring it back to life. Push harder for it, let us survive. Show courage and strength, it's okay to be scared, but don't let it stop you, always stay prepared. Bill Showman School, they're just not beginning. Winners fucking win, losers talk about winning.
Welcome to the Bearded Beast Show special edition episode. Let's try to get my friend Ricky Steele on the line here. Let's see if we can get him. We're calling him now. Let's see if he answers. That's 2 rings. That's 3.
Hello.
He answered. Ricky, what's going on?
Brother, what's up, man?
Hey, what's happening? We're live on the show. We already did the intro. I told everybody I was calling you, so here we are.
Right on, dude. Thanks for having me again. What's up, man? How are you?
Great. I'm doing good. Hey, I wanted to start with a hypothetical question. Have a little fun before we get into the UFC 287. Oh, by the way, how are you doing?
What you got? I'm good, man. I'm good. Just brought home a new baby a couple weeks ago, so we're just settling in. And
yeah. How's that going?
Oh, amazing. She's perfect in every way.
Oh, awesome. Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you, brother.
All right.
What you got?
Hypothetical. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Which famous person's body would you take over if you were a zombie?
If I was a zombie, what famous person's body? Shit, man, I'd want to be the biggest, baddest zombie out there, man. So, man,
so you
Brock Lesnar. I want to be Brock Lesnar as a zombie, dude. Just
I was gonna say Francis
Ngannou, zombie
but...
Hulk. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, some around those lines, absolutely.
All right, real quick. Remember, we talked last time about Justin Gaethje, right?
Yes, sir.
Bro, what'd you think?
Played out just exactly like we said it would, wasn't it?
Man, he did get
it's
stunned.
Just these guys are.
He did get
impossible,
stunned there,
man, to be in a fight like that.
He got stunned for a second, like froze.
Absolutely. I think multiple times, man. I mean, those guys, just watching, it's just unbelievable. The shots they're giving and taking and just standing right there to give and take more. It's like I tell everybody, those are your favorite fighters, man. Those guys are unbelievable. That was fantastic.
So did you think he won?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I thought it was 2-1. I thought it was tied 1-1 going into the third, and Fiziev was absolutely winning the first of the third round, and then Gaethje, man, he just started finding that uppercut, and he just don't quit, but hurting the man and started to pull ahead pretty significantly. I thought it was very, very clear, unanimous for Gaethje. Absolutely.
So, do you think the damage has something to do with the decision?
I do. I mean, yeah, of course, damage overall, number one, scored upon. But, that being said, it's just, I would say off the top of my head, probably the first minute or so, Fiziev was like, oh, man, he's pulling away. He's looking good. Absolutely getting Gaethje. And then, man, a couple of those uppercuts just changed everything. And then he was just starting to pick him apart there towards the end.
I don't know if you remember it, but when Buffer did the announcement, it was very odd the way he announced the decision.
The whole night actually had a couple of weird deals, if I remember right. But yeah, there was no doubt in my mind Gaethje wasn't winning that one.
All right, let's get into it. We're here for you, and I need your picks for UFC 287. It's coming on. Is it on now? Prelims on now?
Nope, prelims just started. So okay. Yeah, we just got home from the store. I'm gonna throw some food on and go in and see what's up.
All right,
but, man, absolutely amazing fights tonight, huh?
Yeah. Let's see if we agree on what's going to happen here. I wasn't giving you any prelim fighters on the card. I was going with the main card.
All right, main card. So let's see here.
We got
main event. Of course, man. I love Izzy. I really do. The man's beat him 3 times. It's just sometimes somebody's got your number. I don't know. I want Izzy to win. I'm cheering for him. I wouldn't be surprised if Pereira gets it done again.
All right, I was going Izzy too because I really thought that he was winning the last fight until late.
I agree. No doubt about it. I think he was up 3-1 going into the 5th round, and actually went in the 5th round too until he wasn't. That being said, he's just, well, to be honest, he did hurt him in the 2nd round. He's definitely capable. He showed that. But
right, because one of the rounds, I thought that Pereira got saved because the round ended.
You're absolutely right. You never know. Another 10, 15, 20 seconds there could have been all she wrote.
All right, so are we agreeing on Izzy?
So that being said, he's definitely capable. I'm rooting for Izzy. I mean, if I'm a betting man, though, honestly, I'm going to take the underdog in Pereira just because simply he's beat him 3 times if I'm betting money on it, but I'm rooting for Izzy.
So now that says something too, right? Vegas has to know something. Why would Pereira be the underdog? He's beat him already quite a few times.
He's beat him all. Yeah, you're right. 3 times. I mean, that's just the thing. It's just hard to say. He was winning each fight too until he wasn't. But that's the thing. It's 3. One time you can say, yeah, fuck, you just got caught. 3 times now. 2 of them being knockouts. It's might just have his number.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, you would know better than me. I mean, I guess there's times that somebody just does have your number, right?
Yeah, it's the truth.
All right, what do you got? Gilbert Burns and Jorge Masvidal.
I got Burns, but again, this is if I'm betting money, I'm picking Burns. I like Masvidal. I think he's exciting. His striking is really, really good. I just don't think his transitions are the best. I don't know how long he's going to be able to keep it on the feet, or with Burns. I see Burns being able to take him down one way or the other.
All right, who's better on the ground?
Oh, Burns is, without a doubt.
Okay. What about Rob Font and Adrian Yanez? I think that's how you say it.
This is actually one of the fights I'm looking forward to most. Been obviously watching all these for a long time. Yanez was kind of put into the UFC right as I was kind of knocking on the door. He was in the LFA and kicking ass, and it's honestly kind of a fight I was hoping and wishing for, a long time ago. But he's just freaking on a tear since he's been in the UFC. I love to watch him fight.
All right, so
I
wait
love
a minute.
his style.
You wanted to fight him?
I absolutely wanted to fight him, and only just because there's very few people I would say that I'm calling out or want to fight. It's just he happened to be in the LFA just right before I was kicking ass. He got the call pretty quick, you know what I mean? So there was a point in time when we were trying to find the next fight. He was definitely in the talks, and but like I said, he got a call up and well-deserved call at that, and he's just been freaking kicking ass ever since.
So real quick, before we go into the other fights, take me back to the time you were on the Ultimate Fighter. Who won that season? Do you remember?
Yes, I do. Brad Katona ended up winning. He fights out of SBG Ireland. Super cool dude. Very just game of shit, dude. He's very competitive. Kind of fought with a chip on his shoulder. Nobody really saw him as the winner in that sense, but he had all the confidence in the world. That's what I remember about Brad Katona.
So did he go into the UFC?
Yes, he did. Kind of crazy. He went to the UFC and he went 2-2 in the UFC, and they let him go.
Wow.
Which, yeah, very weird. Especially being the Ultimate Fighter, he won the world's toughest tournament in the Ultimate Fighter, and so I honestly I thought it was weird when they cut him. It was right at that time. They're being bought out. They're making all these changes. They're not really, to be very honest, trying to pick the best of fighters. They're worried about how many Instagram followers and fucking shit like that.
Yeah.
But. That being said, so this is the story around town is when right now currently they have the Ultimate Fighter going on in Vegas. We know that Conor McGregor came in and is coaching against Chandler.
Yep.
So when he got there, he said, "I will do this as long as I get to bring in a couple of my own guys," which shitty if you're on the one end, but obviously very awesome, very cool of Conor to just kind of have his guys back. As always, he's always been that way for his team, but he brought back Brad Katona, and I think rightfully so. This show is simply about the ones that are kind of past their time fighting these new up and comers. And so, not that Brad is past his time at all. He's, he's a young man just getting started for sure. But he won the tournament, got cut after a 50-50 run, went on to do very well in these outside promotions. I believe he has a belt. And so they're bringing him on. So in my eyes, I think he absolutely deserves another shot. Those guys were all friends to me. I absolutely cheer and root for every single one of those guys. Would I love to fight them? Absolutely. Do I think I could have beat them? Absolutely. But that's besides the point. They were wonderful gentlemen, and I'm rooting for them all. So I was really excited to see Brad Katona get the call back and get another shot. It's well deserved.
All right. Do you believe you'll ever get another shot?
Whether it be with the UFC, I don't know. Hopefully, the dream was always the UFC, and the goals are always to still fight the best people I can get my hands on. I want to test my skills. I truly do want to test and see where I'm at. I have all the faith in the world in my skills. That being said, man, I feel like the UFC's kind of done me dirty. It's just, I feel like there's no reason I'm not in the UFC. The guy that I beat on The Ultimate Fighter got a chance in the UFC. He got multiple chances to fight in the UFC. There was one other teammate of mine, Luis Pena, who, as well as I did, broke his foot in his fight. He got the call back and got a chance to fight in the UFC. My first loss was for the LFA world title. That guy that beat me got a call to the UFC, and after he fought his first fight in the UFC, he got banned, suspended for steroids use. Mm-hmm. And so you're not shitting me when he just comes off a win with me, and then immediately his first fight pops dirty.
Yeah.
He was the cheater. He's dirty. He was the cheater. So that being said, I've just, and it was a fight I shouldn't have taken. Honestly, I mean, I'd do it again. Of course, I'd have to. You get a call up for a world title fight. You answer. You absolutely fucking give it a go. But that being said, I wasn't training. I was way bigger than I had known. I took the fight. I go home that night. I jump on the scales, and I'm way heavier than I even thought I could be. Like, it was just kind of silly of me. I wasn't training like I should have been. I had 4 weeks to lose 35 pounds, which I did. I made the weight, but I had nothing left for him. So it is what it is.
All right, yeah, because that has to take a major toll on your body, right? So what do you guys do to cut that much weight in that short period of time?
Well, you try not to do it in that short a period of time. That was drastic. If I was normal weight, I absolutely, of course, I take the fight thinking, yeah, I'm up for it. I know I can do this. When I say I didn't know my weight, so this came at a time I lost my dad. 2 months later, I lost my best friend. And then 2 months after that, my twins were born and in the NICU for 2 months.
Wow.
So that part of the year, or that half a year, was the most craziest, saddest, just my life was just flipped upside down. You know what I mean? And my body, my mind, my hormones, above all else, were just not right. And so I had all this extra weight, and I didn't know it. I still had abs. I felt, whatever. I'm a man. I'm out there where I'm just I didn't know the kind of shape I was. I was just, living one day at a time. I get this call, an opportunity. I'm like, yes, this is exactly what I need. The martial arts have saved my life more than once. Here now I am at my lowest of times, my saddest of times. Like, yes, I need this fight to get back on top of things. And maybe looking back on it, it was God's lesson to me. Like, hey, no, you've got a wonderful life, whether you have this martial arts thing or not. Like, this is just the cherry on top. And it really is. I'm truly blessed. I have the best life, family, business, you name it. Right. And so the martial arts has truly just been just one of the best parts of my whole entire life, and getting to even do this is such a blessing. But that being said, I took that fight thinking like, yes, I have to do this to be happy again. And so I wasn't, I guess you could say, right in my head, but even more so, I was just distant from training in one, and I had no idea how much I even weighed. And so when you have your hormones and your nervous system is just in shambles and not on par, I was carrying this extra weight, and I've never been that big ever. Like so I went home, jumped on the scale. I'm just like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, this is not even real life, right? Well, it was. I had 4 weeks to lose 35 pounds, and it was the most miserable month of my whole entire life. I was having to be carried, literally just starving myself, still trying to train, knowing I'm fighting a 12-0, badass Russian fighter. And it is what it is. Like I said, I probably have to try it again. But to go back and answer your question, the ideal way is honestly 5, 6, 7 weeks. You start dieting, you find a real comfortable calorie, intake, probably around like 2,500 calories, say. So you're eating these meals spread out between 5, 6 meals in between all your training sessions. So about every 2.5, 3 hours you're eating. What this allows you to do is it speeds up your metabolism so fast. You're getting sufficient enough nutrients and energy to make it through each session. However, your body is slowly cannibalizing itself. So over time, you're eating away at your muscle. You literally have to lose muscle. I mean, it's just, there's no other way about it. So the goal would be normally, like this last fight camp, I was, about 158, and I had a perfect 7-8 week camp. And so I would diet down. The goal is to get as close to about 143 is like my number, right? So during weigh-in days, you only are sweating maybe 5 to 10 pounds. 10 pounds is like, for especially a guy my size, to me, that's like worst case scenario. I did just about that this last fight, but I had a little bit more muscle and was training.
So that means like you're wearing like a sweatsuit to work out in to try to lose some water weight?
Exactly. So you'll diet the very best you can to get as low as you can, right? So for me, I'm looking at 142. I got to weigh in at 135. So I'll wake up that day of weigh-ins and not eat nothing. You're not drinking nothing, and whatever above plus 35, you have to sweat out. So it's a process, you know what I mean? And there is definitely a point of no return. So you want to be as smart about it as you can. Yes, maybe you can lose the weight like me. I lost fucking 35 pounds in a month. I did it, but I had nothing left for him. I was in there. My training for one was shit because I was literally starving myself from the get-go. Ideally, if anything, the last week is where you're at a very low calorie, intake and a good deficit to just get that final push, get that last little bit of weight off, but you've already had 6, 7 weeks of badass training, right?
Yeah.
So the whole time you're trying to get in shape and get ready to peak, well, I'm not feeding myself. It's just I'm not getting adequate training. Everybody in the gym's kicking my ass. I'm getting thrown around. It's not real pace because I can't even go hard and fast. I have not much in the gas tank to allow me to go hard and fast. So when I got in the cage, and I mean to tell you, like, the martial arts always just comes natural and easy. I don't have to think. I just react. Well, I got in there and I just it was like the first time I've ever done this shit. It was just, whoa. By the time it came and gone that fast, I was like, what in the fuck just happened? It was crazy. It was unlike anything else. Honestly, I've never even watched the fight because that wasn't me. That was not me in there. I didn't even give myself a chance. I absolutely hate that my first loss happened like that, to a guy that I absolutely know I could beat. I didn't get, a world title shot. He got the call to the UFC after that fight. I mean, coulda, woulda, shoulda been me. So, you know what I mean? It's just, but no regrets. It is what it is. My life is just as good. I feel sooner or later, I'm not going to be denied. Somebody's going to have to give me a shot, whether it be the UFC, Bellator, PFL. I don't know. Anybody can get it right now. I don't give a shit. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and listening to that story, I guess sometimes, I don't know, do we need these things to happen to us to maybe get us back on track? That know that what if we're not paying attention to what we're doing all the time, what could happen to us? But you did have some serious things that you went through, though, right? So mentally, yes. it was a tough time for you. And
absolutely. And so going back on it, like, hey, what could I have done better? Well, it's hard for me to look at the fight and say, well, you should have done this, this, and this, and this. Technique-wise, all that. I mean, yeah, it was my worst performance, but it wasn't me. You know what I mean? So I'm looking now, I lost that fight before I even got in the cage. So again, how do you look at, should I not even have taken the fight? It's a
No,
world title fight.
yeah,
How do
no.
I, you know what I mean? How do you turn that down? You don't, you can't. So then I look at it like, fuck, honestly, it just is what it is. It's all been God's timing. It always will be. Yes, my biggest takeaway from that, I now have to be able to balance. If I'm going to do this shit, and I am going to do this shit, I cannot just step away for a quarter of the year or half a year at a time. You know what I mean? I'm always either working 100% or I'm, training 100%. I got to find a happy medium. And I have. I'm absolutely trying to set myself up to where I can step away a little bit at work. I've hired more guys. I'm doing everything I can to create a legitimate business. Business is wonderful. However, as soon as I leave, production goes down. So, you know what I mean?
Man,
So
do I know that all too well.
so, and it's just, I have to do this. I have to fight. I do. I just have to. I have to do it as much as I can for as long as I can. So I am absolutely trying to dedicate my life to where I can just have a happy medium of everything. Like I said, I got the best family, the best job. I'm able to do the martial arts. So I've got to be able to kind of find that happy medium and do it all. And so, and I've been, really trying to help out the guys at the gym that are fighting when I'm not. So it keeps me involved. It keeps me around. And so, one way or the other, we've still got a lot of big fights ahead of us.
And it sounds to me like you have amazing support from your family, right?
There's no doubt about it. I mean, there's from the day I said, this is, I'm all in. I want to try to be a fighter. Everybody, it wasn't like if, or it was just a matter of when. I mean, they've supported me my whole entire life. I've traveled all around the world my whole life, and my family is just, they're amazing. They have all the support in the world, and it means everything to me. It really does.
And
so,
here's what I hope everybody's getting out of the story that you're telling, because I already know this, but here's what I'm getting out of it. Everybody wants to jump into entrepreneurship, right? And they want to be a leader and a mentor, and they want to be an owner because they think it's just this glorious thing and that you have all the time in the world and you can do whatever you want and you're going to make all this money.
Right.
But that might happen.
So far from the truth.
That might happen at some point. But they always see the end result, right? Because I always get it must be nice to have that Porsche, must be nice to have that house, must be nice to have the things 100%. That you have, right? Yeah, but nobody fucking saw what it took to get there. So listening 100%. To your story, I hope everybody's understanding, listening to, here's a guy that was fought in the Ultimate Fighter. He fights. You run a paving company. You have a family. You just had a baby. I hope everybody can understand that don't always look at the end result. You need to understand what the processes and the middle and the beginning. That's how you get to the end. I hope they're paying attention to what you're saying and listening to everything that you had to go through. Even in your darkest moments and the things that you went through, you got in that cage and you did what you had to do. Regardless if you won.
Absolutely.
Doesn't matter if you won.
Absolutely.
Now, and you second guess the decision sometimes, but to me, doesn't matter if you won. You still did what it takes to get to where you want to go.
Well, thank you, brother. Thank you. And it absolutely is the journey, right? I mean,
yeah.
Just like you said, you want all the money? Well, guess what? Fucking buckle up because you got a lot of work to do. You know what I'm saying? And you either one or two, you either drive yourself mad, you waste your life away, and you get all this money. Now all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, I'm still fucking not happy. Like, what the hell? I have all the money, right? Well, same with the fighting and all that. Obviously, that's the end goal and the dreams and all that. But I truly just enjoy doing the martial arts. I truly enjoy the practice. I enjoy pushing myself. I enjoy just fighting in general. You know what I mean? So, again, it's kind of, I feel like I've prayed and I've thanked God so many times, like, for the martial arts and this and that. And even after I felt I got screwed with the Ultimate Fighter, this and that, I said, you know what? Here's my chance to prove to you, dear God, that I truly mean it when I say I thank you for this all. I thank you for this. I'm not sour about fucking the UFC, whatever. I don't give a shit. I am enjoying myself. I am so blessed and thankful that I get to do this each and every single day. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, absolutely. It's the journey. You've got to do something you love to do, have dreams, have goals. But if it truly isn't something you're willing to waste your life away, and I say waste as in you're going to do something one way or the other, so why not make it something you love?
100%. And that's what I admire about you, right? Is regardless of the outcome, you still consider yourself blessed to be able to do what you do.
Yes, sir.
So you love
Absolutely.
the journey. You've embraced the journey, and that's what everybody needs to understand. I wish everybody would just stop focusing on the money. I've often
Absolutely.
told so many people that's where you get lost. You need to love the journey, love the process. The money will come. I got to be honest with you.
The money will come.
I got to be honest with you.
Yes.
That's one of the easiest things to obtain if you do the process correctly.
You're absolutely right.
When you just focus on it every day, you're not doing the process correctly, and you won't obtain it. It'll be the hardest thing that you ever tried to accomplish.
Yep, you're always going to be chasing. Yep. Absolutely.
I just wish, I hope everybody listening to this can understand and listen to what you said, and they just need to stop chasing the wrong thing. You know, like you said, you're blessed. You have a great life. If Ricky Steele never makes it back to the UFC, look at your life.
Amen, brother.
Right? It's not one that you would throw away because you didn't make it to the UFC.
Exactly. Yes, sir.
All right, let's jump back to Kevin Holland, and I'm not really sure how to say this other guy's name. Santiago. Yeah, there you go.
Ponzinibbio, yeah.
Who you got?
Dude, this fight right here is another one that's going to be, I think, fireworks. Ponzinibbio, he's kind of crazy and wild, and we know Kevin Holland, he's always down to scrap, you know. So I think this one's going to be exciting fireworks. I'm going with Holland. But again, this whole card, very entertaining. And then, of course, the young buck, Roses Jr. How could you not be, you know what I mean? Whether you like him or not, it's one of those deals you've got to watch. You're going to be entertained. He's the youngest kid in the UFC. He's got a great style. He's a very good grappler. He's very aggressive. I think it's only going to get him so far. You know what I mean? But that being said, who gives a shit? It's going to be fun to watch. I can't wait.
Have you heard of this other guy? Is he any good?
I have not. And so that just makes me think, I mean, dude, okay, let's put it like this. Roses Jr. is starting off the main card. Yep. When we have Gastelum, right? Yep. A former title challenger. Like, Gastelum is great. Everybody loves Gastelum. I mean, it's honestly kind of an insult that Gastelum is on the prelims and Roses Jr. is starting us off on the main card. So what that tells us, he's definitely got the UFC hype train behind him. I think I don't know, but more than likely this is a hand-picked fight. Very good matchup for Roses Jr. Yep. So we've seen him do it again over and over. So
I mean, regardless if we like him, I guess Dana White does know how to run a business, right?
You know, I mean, it is a business. It's entertainment at the end of the day. So and people like the idea. I mean, again, me too. I as just a fan of the sport, as me just wanting to sit back with a drink and be entertained. Hell yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But again, as a fighter, when I'm really talking about like the art and our sport as a whole, it's just kind of sad that this circus show kind of still somehow gets mixed up one way or the other with this shit, that it plays hand in hand still so much with this, you know, entertainment aspect of it. I mean, because, like, goddamn,
there might even get more entertainment aspect of it now they joined with the WWE.
That's what I'm afraid of.
I hope it doesn't go that route, but I mean, we know that, you know, I was never a big fan of Sean O'Malley, so, you know, he had a big hype train too, right? And
right,
I thought that he kind of floated his way right up to the top. My
point. Well, he did. I mean, he had the UFC's backing, and so like that. Sean O'Malley didn't fight fucking anybody until just recently, you know what I mean? And right. I do think he lost his fight against Jan.
I thought he did
absolutely
too.
Think he lost. Yeah, I absolutely think he lost it. Now, like, legitimately, they're going to let him sit out over a year just to wait for the next title fight. When there's people like Corey Sandhagen, and it's just crazy to me. But
The same with like Paddy Pimblett, right?
same with Paddy Pimblett. I mean, there's a couple. It's
You know,
like when the UFC.
I had someone actually telling me that Paddy could beat Gaethje.
Holy smokes! No way! No way!
Could you imagine that fight?
Yeah, no way that happening. But as soon as the UFC got bought out and became this billion-dollar business, I mean, right away, that's when we saw stupid shit like the BMF belt being made up and presented by The Rock with 2 fighters that weren't even in the top 5. Like, what the fuck?
Yep.
You know what I mean? The hell is this shit? But it's money, it's entertainment, so I guess it's just the business. It's the nature of the business. So.
Yeah, it is, unfortunately. It will be fun to sit back and just chill out and relax, though, and watch it.
I look forward to it.
I do love these nights. So we get you back for UFC 288, right?
Absolutely, brother.
All right, so I named these episodes Getting Real with Ricky Steele.
Hell yeah. I like it. That has a really nice ring to it.
So we're going to lock it in. We're going to get you on maybe a few hours before every pay-per-view. What do you think?
I would love it. Let's do that, brother.
All right, brother. I appreciate your time. Enjoy those. Hey, quick question. How's your wife doing?
Oh, really good. No, she's good. A couple weeks out now, so she's finally got some energy. She's back to her normal self. I say that that demon finally has left her, and it's came out in this beautiful form of my precious brand new daughter. But no, I finally got my my Christina back. So it's
awesome,
good.
man. Congratulations again, and thanks for coming on. We look forward to you coming on before UFC 288, and enjoy those fights tonight, brother.
Thank you for having me. God bless, my friend.
God bless.
Talk to you soon.
All right.
Bye-bye.
I'll be remembered, but will you? Bill McDonald's the baddest that I would turn to. CEO with the shit that's a dumb motherfucker. He'll always win, there's no going under. The top of the crown resting on his head. The beast is alive, he'll never be dead. If he dreamt before, bring it back to life. Push harder for it, let us survive. Show courage and strength, it's okay to be scared, but don't let it stop you, always stay prepared. Bill showing school, they're just not beginning. Winners fucking win, losers talk about winning.